What's up, everybody? In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how to create a project catalog on Upwork. First, I'm going to go over what a project catalog even is and what services they work best with, and then I'll dive into my computer and I'll show you exactly how to create one. And I'm going to cover everything. Everything from the titles to the categories, from the graphics to the description, and every last detail in between. And if you don't already know who I am, my name is Nico Hessel, and over the last 12 months, I've generated over $100,000 from Upwork for both my own agency and my clients. So with that being said, let's dive into my computer and I'll show you how to create a project catalog. So some of you might be wondering, what even is a project catalog on Upwork? Well, the project section is a different side of Upwork. So you can see here, I can search for projects, I can search for talent, or I can search for jobs. And essentially, a project catalog is something that you put out to Upwork that allows a client to purchase something from you directly without you having to apply to their job. And so the advantage as a client is that if you know exactly what you're looking for, you can go to projects, the project catalog section on Upwork, and search it. And then you can just purchase one of these catalogs, one of these projects from a freelancer. And you don't have to post a job. You don't have to invite people to the job. You don't have to message people or get on calls. It's a very direct way for a client to purchase something from a freelancer. Now, what are the advantages for the freelancers? Well, the big one is that you only have to create a project catalog once, and then infinite amounts of clients can buy it from you. And so it's a very high leverage activity for you if you do it correctly. Now let's talk about who this works for and who this doesn't, right? Because there are specific services that this is going to work well for, and there are services that you should just not even bother doing this with. And so this is going to work well for anyone that has a standardized service that you offer. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, if your service is going to be the same no matter who purchases it from you, it's a good guess that it will do well on the Upwork project catalog section. And so what do I mean by that? Well, for example, if you offer Google Ads audits, then that's pretty much going to be the same exact thing no matter what kind of company, what industry buys it from you, right? You're probably going to have the same checklist that you go through for every audit you do. Same thing for consulting, right? A 60-minute consultation is going to be the same for everybody. Now, what you talk about will be different, but the core thing that you're actually delivering to them, which is the 60-minute consulting call, is going to be the exact same for everybody. A third example is if you were to offer like logo design and branding identity, right? And you have a proven offer that you know people want. And let's say that's one logo and a branding package. That is going to be the same for everybody. Now, again, the exact logos aren't going to look the same, but the fact that you're going to do one logo and one branding package, that core offer is going to be the same for everybody. And so that would be another thing that would work really, really well in this project catalog section. Now, what does not work well? Well, if you offer a service that's going to be completely different depending on who buys it from you, what industry they're in, what service they offer, then this would not be a good fit for you. So for example, if you offer fully managed cold email campaigns, that would not be a good choice to put in the project catalog section. Now, the reason for that is because if a big company hires you to do their cold email, they might want you to reach out to 1 million prospects a month in 50 different industries. And that could be a lot more work than somebody who just wants you to reach out to 1,000 people per month in one industry, right? And maybe one company wants you to write 10 different versions of the email copy and one company only wants one, right? You get where I'm going with this. And so if you offer a service that's highly personalized, depending on what company hires you for it, then that would probably not be a good choice to put in the Upwork project catalog section. But again, if you do offer consulting or audits, I would highly recommend putting these in the Upwork project catalog section. So how do you actually create one of these project catalogs? Well, if you go to your profile on Upwork, your freelancer profile, and scroll down, you'll see a section that says your project catalog. And you can just click manage projects. And then you can press create a project. Once you do, it's going to look exactly like this. And so for the title, we want to make sure that it's extremely clear what people are getting from us. Because as you can imagine, if someone's going to purchase a project from you without ever speaking to you, they need to know exactly what they're buying or else they just won't buy it. And so a common theme throughout this is going to be being extremely specific on what we're giving them. And so, of course, we need to incorporate that in the title. And so this is just an example, but I might have something that says you will get a 1-hour Google Ads audit or a Google Ads consultation. Or we could say a 1 hour live audit, right? But just getting very specific on what they're getting. So a 1 hour Google Ads consultation is pretty specific. Teams, we always want to select as a freelancer. In terms of the category, you can go down to browse all categories and then just simply select the one that makes the most sense for you, right? And so for Google Ads, we have marketing, search engine marketing, and ad review and optimization. And then the project attributes are going to be different depending on what industry, or what service you're offering as your project catalog. So for this one, if it was a Google Ads consultation, we'd just be prompted for the search engines and we would just click Google, right? Fairly simple. In terms of search tags, you want to make sure you have 5 very relevant search tags. And so ours would be Google Ads Manager, Google Analytics 4, Google AdSense, Google Ads Audit, and Google Ads, right? All extremely specific and all very, very relevant to this project. And you can only add 5 skill tags in here. So just make sure they're all relevant. Then you'll press save and continue. And then you move on to pricing. Obviously, the exact price that you choose is completely up to you. But I will say anything that's less than like $1,500 will work the best for these project catalogs. Especially as you go higher and higher in terms of price, less people are just going to be okay with purchasing it from you without ever speaking to you, right? And so as you can imagine, things that are like $1,000 and less do pretty well. And obviously, the less you're charging, the more common and easy it is for someone to just purchase it without having to speak to you, right? And so keep that in mind. I like to have project catalogs that are about consulting, and generally my rate is between $100 and $200 per hour, and I get a pretty decent amount of orders. So again, custom title for this, mine might just be 60-minute consultation. And notice you can also have 3 tiers, right? And so maybe if I was doing this, these consultations, I might have like a 30-minute option, a 60-minute option, and a 90-minute option, right? And so these could all literally just say like 30-minute consultation, 60-minute consultation, and then 90-minute consultation, right? And then the custom descriptions, these can only be 80 characters, so you have to be pretty brief with it. But maybe for the 30-minute consultation, I might just say, do you have questions about Google Ads? These calls are perfect for that. And then in the 60-minute consultation, I might say, are you struggling with your Google Ads? I can dive in, uncover the bottleneck, and help you solve it, right? So they could be slightly different, and they should have slightly different descriptions depending on, obviously what they actually are, right? 30 minutes versus 60 minutes versus 90 minutes. Cool. And then in terms of delivery days, obviously this is up to you, but this is basically like from the time someone purchases this, how long do they have to wait to get whatever you're selling them, right? And so if you're doing like a consulting call, how long do they have to wait before they can book that call? Is it 1 day? Is it 5 days? For me, it's just 1 day. So that is what the delivery days section means, right? And of course, again, these can be customized depending on the tiers you choose. Cool. And then these 2 questions will be different depending on what you're actually offering and the categories we chose in the last section, right, in the overview section. But for Google Ads, it says number of audience targeting suggestions and number of bidding and budget suggestions. And so again, these can be different depending on what you're comfortable with, and obviously they will be different depending on what you're actually offering. But for example, we might say they get 2 of each, and maybe for the 60-minute consultation, they get 3 of each. Right? Again, just making this up because these are going to be different for everybody. And then if you scroll to the bottom, you're going to notice that you can add on add-ons, right? And so there's both add-ons, but also like service tier options. And so the account audit, maybe we say they get that for all 3 tiers. And maybe an action plan, maybe they only get that for the 60-minute and the 90-minute consultation. Because if you only have a 30-minute call, it might be tough to really give them a true action plan. And then ongoing management, this I would not recommend selecting for any of these, just because ongoing management is going to be, again, different depending on who you're actually serving, right? So if you're like, for this example, we're offering a Google Ads consultation. Google Ads ongoing management is going to be completely different depending on how much money they're spending, what kind of Google Ads they're running, right? It's going to vary a lot, right? And so I probably wouldn't want to attach an exact price to this because, again, it'll change for everybody. And then project price, you can have different prices depending on what tier you're doing. So maybe we have $50, $100, and $150, just as an example. And then add-ons, again, these will be different depending on what industry you're in, but you can always select like fast delivery. Like if they want to book their call immediately with you, maybe they have to pay $50 extra, or you could do additional audience and targeting. Like you can just play around with these and decide which ones you want to add as add-ons. And you can also create custom add-ons. And then once you've completed this, you're going to press save and continue. You'll notice that we didn't fill out the advanced section, but you understand how that works already, so we can skip that. And then next is going to be the graphic. Now, the graphic is super important for your project because that's what people are going to see when they actually click on it, right? And so I'm going to show you a few examples of good graphics and bad graphics right now. Okay, so as an example of something that would be a bad project catalog cover, you can see this one right here and this one right here. And so to start with this one, the reason it's terrible is because A, she obviously just took a stock photo and then put something that says struggling with Google ads over it. So first off, it's obvious this isn't her because we can see her profile picture down here. And so just the fact that there's a man in the picture and a woman down here is odd and a little bit off-putting. And so immediately I'm like, that's strange. And it makes me not want to buy that, right? Aside from that, it's very generic and not unique at all. Then this one is just a random screenshot of a dashboard. Now, for the most part, as you can see, the project catalog banners aren't huge. And so A, these numbers are really small unless I zoom way in. And B, a lot of people might not have the context to understand what this dashboard even means, right? And so if they don't understand it, then they're not going to buy it, right? And they're probably not even going to click on it. And if you want to see a good example, you can look at this one right here. Now, this is good because A, it has a picture of this same guy, and he's smiling, and he's in a suit, and it looks professional. And on the left-hand side, we have a very clear, it's very clear like what he's offering and his experience. So we have Google Ads audit, and then it says, get your campaign reviewed by a Google Ads manager with 12 years of experience. And he's offering a Google Ads audit. And so that's extremely clear. We know what we're getting. We know his experience. We can see his face. He's smiling. He's professional. He has a suit on. And overall, it's a very simple, but a very nice looking project catalog cover. And so if possible, I would highly recommend, implementing a picture of yourself if you have one that's, again, smiling, looking professional, and then add some text on top of it, similar to like this guy did. Just separate them, right? Don't put the text right over your face. Be smart about it. And then just overall, make sure it looks aesthetic and it looks nice. Don't have something super generic like, Google Ads management like that. Like, I don't like that at all. Don't have something that's, just doesn't make any sense, like a random screenshot of a dashboard or a picture of somebody else with some words over it. Don't do any of those things. Just make sure that when you create the project catalog cover, you have a picture of yourself, you're smiling, and you have big words that people can easily read that make it very, very clear what you are offering. So once you've created an awesome project catalog cover and plugged it in the gallery section, you'll move on to the requirements section. Now, this is going to change a lot depending on what you're actually offering as your project catalog. But for example, if I was offering a Google Ads consultation, I might require the client to give me two things. So I might ask them two questions. Number one, what problem are you trying to solve with this consultation? And number two, how much are you currently spending on each campaign? Now, the reason I might ask them these two questions is because this might be information that I want to know because it could help me prepare for the consultation, right? And for example, if you're offering, let's say, logo design as your project catalog, you might want to ask them to give you a detailed description of what they're exactly looking for. And if they don't know what they're looking for, then you could ask them to book a kickoff call with you, right? That's another option. Same thing with logo design. You could ask them if they know what kind of colors they want to use. And if they don't know, again, they can book a kickoff call with you. So again, these will change a lot depending on what you're actually offering for your project catalog, but hopefully this gives you a good idea as to some potential questions and requirements. And then once you do plug those in, you're just going to press save and continue. And you'll move on to the description. Now, the description is vital. It's absolutely vital to seeing success with these project catalogs. Because as we already covered, if a client is going to purchase a project from you, they need to know exactly what they're getting. Because remember, most times when someone purchases a project from you, they're not going to be speaking to you before that. They're just going to press buy and they're going to purchase it from you. And so if they purchase it, they need to know to a T exactly what they're getting. And so you should use up at least 600, but probably more like 1,200 characters, which is the maximum of the project summary. So just as a quick example, if I was going to be offering the Google Ads consultation, I might say, I've been running Google Ads for 15 years and have managed over $100 million in ad spend. I offer consultations so I can dig into your ads, get to the root of the problem, and help you craft a plan to overcome it. I've performed consultations for over 100 businesses in 20 plus industries over the last 10 years, and I'm confident I can help you with your Google Ads. Right? So like a quick introduction to you, what you're offering, provide some social proof in there, give yourself some credibility, brag a little bit, not too much, but a little bit, right? Give some statistics if you have them. And then just overall a little intro. Then I like to say these calls are perfect, or whatever you're offering, right? This project is perfect if you are, and then give some common themes and common reasons that people buy this from you. So as an example, I might say, these calls are perfect if you're exploring the possibility of running Google Ads. These calls are perfect if you're running Google Ads with a budget of $1,000 a month or more. And these calls are perfect if you're running Google Ads and struggling to optimize your keywords, right? And I can keep going. I can go on and on and on with this list. But the goal is just that a client sees this and they say, oh, I am running Google Ads with a budget of $1,000 or more. Or they say, oh, I am running Google Ads and I am struggling to optimize my keywords. And they think this would be perfect for me, right? That's the goal. And then simply end it with a call to action. You can also mention that if they have questions, they can send you a message, right? Because I just like to prompt them with that because some people will have some questions. And sometimes you'll get someone who messages you who found you on your project catalog. Then for the project steps, they do require you to add in at least one step for your project catalog. And so for me, and I think for a lot of other people, it's just scheduling, right? So especially that this is a consultation. So the project steps, the one I added in is name scheduling. And it just says, once you've bought the project from me, I will send you my calendar to book your consulting call. Really, really simple. And again, this will change depending on what you're actually offering as your project catalog on Upwork. But for the most part, this should be probably pretty simple, right? It's similar to the requirements section. It's just a more concrete next step, right? And so you can see the first, they purchase it, they send you the requirements, then you complete the following steps that you add right here. So you have to add them, and then the client reviews and approves your work and you get paid, right? And so you're just adding in the step to this process. And then if you scroll down, you'll see that there are frequently asked questions sections. And so I would highly encourage you to put in all of your FAQs and answers to them, because again, it's just going to make this project catalog more concrete, give them enough information so that they know exactly what they're buying, because they have to know exactly what they're getting or else they won't buy it. So as of just a few quick examples, if I was offering Google Ads consultations, I might say, are these calls recorded? Maybe that's a common question. Maybe another common question is like, how many people can join these consultations? So again, you can write in-depth answers to these. I did not write super in-depth answers, but put your FAQs in here and then write a decent sized answer to each question. Then you'll press save and continue. And this is the last step in creating an Upwork project catalog. And all you have to do is put in the maximum number of simultaneous projects that you can handle. So what does that mean? Well, if 10 people purchase your project catalog today, is that too many? Can you handle all of that work? Or can you only handle 5 projects at one time, right? And so you'll just put in the number of, again, maximum projects that you can handle at one time. And then you'll scroll down and you'll select the terms of service box and the privacy notice box. And then you'll press submit for review. And that is all there is to it, guys. Once you submit your project catalog for review, typically they're going to be published within 24 to 48 hours.